Welcome to this week's live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. I'm just changing all my screens around here so I can see the chat. Good morning to everybody. Lots of conversations going before the chat started. So welcome to everybody. You guys know the drill. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, all that kind of stuff. Looks like Kathy was the first one in the chat this morning. Good morning, Kathy. Thanks for jumping in. I know it's not the most awesome time of the day for you where you are. And who else have we got here in the chat jumping in early? We've got Stacy F. Welcome, Stacy. And Ruth Young. Hello, Ruth. Another one who's burning the midnight oil. Good morning to you all. Good morning, Angela, Leanne's Craft Room. Lots of chatters going on. So it's been a big week here. Can see me and hear me. Thank you very much. That's good to know. It's good to know. So Sal's popped a link into the fun zone. Good job, Sal. A mod extraordinaire. I've shared today's live stream in the fun zone. So if you'd like to post pictures of what you're working on during the stream, please post them in that thread. Now, the reason we do this is not that we don't want conversations happening all over the fun zone. The fun zone is awesome for conversations, but sometimes we get a little sucked into what we're talking about here in the streams, and it's a little bit weird. And if you're in the fun zone and don't join into the live streams regularly, you might see someone pop in some random comment and be like, should that be here? But we know it should be there because we're here at the live. So if you pop it in that thread, we know which video it's related to. Talia says the baby is waving to me. Hello, baby Talia. Hear and see me clear and sharp for both. That is awesome. That is awesome. Angela says at least there's no soccer to keep me from the live tonight. We missed you last week, Angela. We definitely did. We definitely did. This week, what have I been doing? I've been doing so much stuff, but one thing I did was I had to play with the thumbnail for this week's live stream. The reason for it was, look, most of you guys know, I also have another channel where I help people with YouTube and I help people with live streaming, and I take on clients to help them. And on this channel, I kind of do the things that you're not supposed to do, like the things that stop you from growing, like using the same thumbnail for every single live stream. That's a big no-no. And all these sorts of things. It's like you guys are used to it. That those of you that are here regularly, you are absolutely used to it. But those of you that are not used to it, anyone that's new, they're like, oh yeah, I already saw that replay or that video. I don't need to do it again. And so I'm going to start trying to do some of the things, be less of, do as I say, not as I do, but more of a do as I do kind of channel. I don't know how long I'll keep that up for. Who knows? Maybe a week, maybe 5 weeks. Who knows? Who knows? Sally says, I couldn't hear or see you, so I refreshed and then got ads, but I'm all good now. Well, I'm glad that you're all good now, so that's kind of cool. So last week, I promised that I would release a little video, a little review video, and I did that. I released a little review video on the Chow Goose Swiv 360s. Let me know in the chat if you've had a chance to watch that video. And while you guys are letting me know in the chat, I'm just going to drink some of my coffee here because it is still coffee time. So it's been a little while since I've done an edit. I do lots of live streaming. I don't do so much editing. So it's a little bit, strange, a little bit strange getting into the edit. Kathy watched it, Dolores watched it, Kelly watched it, Leslie watched it. Angela watched it even though she doesn't knit. Thank you, Angela. I do appreciate that. Ruth said, I saw it. Now it makes me unsure of them. And that was always a concern. That was legit a concern. So when you watch it, you will see that it wasn't necessarily a glowing review, which is something I don't usually do. Normally, if I don't like something, I just won't talk about it at all. And this time round, I thought, no, this is something that needs to be discussed. Every single review I'd watched um, online didn't really go into all of the information. It's nearly like they kinda knew, but they didn't wanna mention it, and the advantage of not being paid by Xiaogu is that I can give an honest review, although in all fairness, I think Xiaogu would prefer an honest review anyway. They're that kind of company, which I really like. I love dealing with Xiaogu. I love all of their other products, so, it was a bit of an honest review, so hopefully it was not too harsh. Hopefully. So those of you that watched it, thank you. Those of you that haven't watched it, I'm not gonna give away too much in here. It's only a quick, short little video. It's like a little 4 minutes or something like that. So, all the YouTube rules apply. Watch to the end if you can, and let me know if you see the end screen pop up, because I put a lot of effort into that end screen, let me tell you. I think the end screen took nearly as long to make as editing the rest of the video. No, it didn't. It just felt like it because it was right at the end and it was what was holding me up. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, so I'm still working on my queen. Um, and so let me know what you're working on in the chat. It's actually quite warm today, or it could be because I was just running around like a lunatic getting everything ready. And I've had to shut all the doors up because I'm not alone in the house today. So, yeah, I'm just having a quick look here. You brought up a bit of information that makes me think that way. Yeah, you know what? And that's the thing. It's going to be a case of you will need to try it yourself and see what you think. So rather than going in and buying a million of them, just buy one and see what you think, because everybody is different. Different people knit differently. Different people have a different style. And some things that bug me may not bug you. So you definitely need to make your own opinion and test it out for yourself. But I definitely gave my opinion most decidedly. Um, Leanne says, I love the honesty of your opinion. I'm not a knitter either, but I know a lot of crafters who are. Kathy, and this is an excellent point, Kathy. Sometimes new stuff isn't as good as what you already have. New isn't always better. Absolutely. I need that on a shirt. New isn't always better. Um, because it's so true. It's so true. Because it's so easy just to go, oh yeah, this is a brand new fangled thing. It has to be better. It's just not. It's just not. Sometimes it is new and improved. Um, but sometimes what you have works. I'm one of these people, I tend not to, if I'm happy with the tools I have, I tend not to change them. It's normally if something's irking me that I start looking for an alternative. Like I loved my microphone, my old one, that's over there. I love your microphone. Um, and while it was a fantastic microphone, now that the studio has moved, um, it wasn't coping with a lot of the additional noise that I'm getting from being in a shared space, so I had to change to something else. And technically speaking, I think this mic is an older mic. Is it because it's a totally different kind of mic? I think the pod mics came out before the NTGs. I don't know. I'd have to do some research. Um, so yeah, it is most definitely you've got to go with the tools that work for you. And if that means trying a few different ones, seeing what works for you, and what works for me may not work for you, what works for Talia may not work for you, what works for Kelly may not work for you. But it's always a good way to sort of like, if a lot of people have a similar opinion, maybe that's a little bit of an alarm bell. I don't know. Definitely worth making your own opinions though, which is why I made my own video about it. Angela says it's 24 where she is. I'm just going to check what I am. That's 24 degrees Celsius. Um, and it's currently 18.5 here Celsius. So it's a little bit cooler, but I think it is because I've been running around. And I had the dryer on and I was like, anyway, yeah. Oh, Talia, that's adorable. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. So, that was good. That was so good about your review. You say that even though you didn't find them good doesn't mean others won't. I like that part of the review because personal knitting style does come into it. It absolutely does come into it because everybody holds their needles differently, holds their tensioning differently. There's so many different ways to knit that these could be the perfect knit cables for someone. I can't imagine Chow would have brought something out that nobody likes. They do too much market research for that. I was just saying, probably not for me. Lisby saying, "Am I the only one having video Cs?" I'm not having any problems on my end, Lisby, but maybe check your little settings dial and just drop it down to the next level down. It could be streaming just a little bit too high quality for your current internet speed, or just do a straight up refresh. That could do the job. Um, I had to get a 3.5 millimeter hook because my Susan Bates don't have the 3.5. It's definitely a learning curve. Yeah, that's something pretty important to also remember, Angela, and everybody else watching, that just because something comes in a set doesn't mean it's all of them. It doesn't mean it's everything. I know like the Chago interchangeables, their sets come from like a 2.75 mil up to a 10 mil, like for the complete set. But they don't have a 3 mil in there. They don't have a six and a half. I think there's like little odd ones that are missing. Now you can buy all the bits, but they picked the most popular ones and popped them in the set. They didn't put everything in the set, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is definitely something to consider and to keep an eye on because not everything is always in a set. Usually just the most used are. Oh no, it's getting him out of having a nap. Oh, Talia, I'm sorry about that. So yeah. Hi Russell, how you going? How many like the new hairdo as much as I do? Well, I like it a lot. I'm very much enjoying not having to deal with the longer, um, crazy hair. It was crazy hair. I'd wake up in the morning and just be like, I mean, right now I wake up in the morning, I'm still fighting gravity with it. You'd think hair this short wouldn't fight gravity, but it does. Um, so, let me have a look here. Oh, Kathy says, I always have a giggle when companies tell you their product is new and better. Shouldn't we be the ones to determine if it's better? But their marketing departments wouldn't be doing their jobs if they didn't try to tell you it was better, right? And that's the thing. You've got to consider the source. Who's telling you it's better? They are? I mean, I always like look at that. Uh Sally says it did freeze for her for a few seconds. We're just going through the people having problems. Lisby dropped hers to 720 just in case. Oh yeah, Sally's also short hair girl. Short hair sticks up everywhere in the morning. I follow Will Wheaton from, ex Star Trek, total king of the nerds. Love Will Wheaton, or king of the geeks, I should say. Um, and he posts his photo every morning of his morning bed hair, and it cracks me up because yesterday, I actually took a photo of mine. I'm not sharing it anyway, but I took a photo of mine and compared them, and I was just like, "Oh, look at that, twins." So that was a bit of fun for me. But yeah, short hair sticks up in the morning. All right, you guys, you've got to let me know, uh, how like, what's in your cup? Let me know I've got coffee today. I've actually even just gone with dairy milk. I wasn't thinking and didn't grab my oat milk, and I just threw dairy milk in, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Um, Russell has jumped in. I like the look of the new mic. Sound is great and it looks cool. Thanks, Russell. I had to do some jiggery pokery, changey uppery because the house is because I'm not in my own studio anymore. I'm sharing a space, so I needed something that would isolate me a little bit better. Mm. Iced tea for Ruth. Come on, that sounds delicious. Double iced coffee from Angela, so it can last the chat. That is awesome. Just water from Kathy. Lisby says, "You had short hair when I met you in Gympie. It's what gave me the guts to cut all of mine off." Yeah, that was quite a few years ago. I think the last time I had my hair short was about 4 or 5 years ago. Um, yeah, but it was, like, super short, like, this is long compared to what that was. This like, I had shaved sides, like, it was crazy, but, I like them both. I was actually looking at the photos from that hairstyle, and I really liked that look, which is what made me do this look. Um, still drinking Barry's, am addicted. Fair enough. Yeah, I think it worked out why we crop hair from long to short in winter, because after you wash long hair, you can't let it dry before bed. You need to blow dry it, hence chop it off. Yeah, it is. It's one of those things for me. I tend not to wet my hair at night just because I get sick easily. You guys know that. And so I normally wash my hair in my morning shower so that it's got all day to dry and it needs all day to dry. What's this? Coffee ice cream? Nice. That sounds amazing. 1 week to go. Whoops, did I yell that? Yes, you did. You yelled that. If anyone's wondering what Sally's talking about, next Friday, so not tomorrow, but next Friday, we leave for the Fiberific retreat. We have 3 days away with a group of us who all signed up. We're off to a beautiful retreat up in the mountains. We're going to craft. We're being catered for. We're being pampered. And we're just going to have the best time just hanging out and crafting and not having to worry about any of the usual things. Like there's no one doing dishes. Well, there is. There's Leonie who runs the retreat. But none of us are doing dishes and none of us are having to do anything except for maybe every now and again have to get up, move away from our craft, go to where we're being served our food, and then toddle the 15 steps back to our table after we're done. So yeah, it's going to be so awesome. I'm still putting the gift bags together. My husband actually said to me because he was like, "Oh, what plans do we have this weekend?" Then he goes, "No, there's no plans. You've got to finish putting the gift bags together." And I'm like, "Yes, I do. They're not quite ready, but we're getting there. We're getting there." Um, success. The baby is asleep. Oh, that's so good. He might actually get some crafting done. Lisby says, I can't wait to hear all the wonderful things you create. Oh, that's awesome, Lisby. Now, I have a question. Now, this is nothing set in stone. This is just something that I'm just like, it's jumped in my head, and I just want to ask a question. If we moved the retreat to another state, but near an airport in more of like an accessible, like location accessible and also like person accessible environment, how many of you would still consider flying? Like, because I'd have to fly there as well. And it's just an idea. It's just something I'm thinking of. It's not set in stone, but I'm just wondering how many people would consider that, because we do have a lot of locals who go up to this one because it's driving distance. Sally would, because Sally already flies. She'd just fly somewhere else. Leslie would. Okay, that's good. Game Widows is the same. She's flying to this retreat, so she'd fly to another one. Um, Game Widows, did you fix your machine? I know that you were having problems with it and that it was being a total like, um, but is it working again now? Lisby would. Still too far for Kathy. Yeah, if we kept it in Australia, Kathy would. Yeah, I understand that. It's like, oh, I mean, wouldn't that be cool? Like, let's have a Fiberific retreat in the US. We like, I'd have to have someone over there helping me set it up because, yeah, that would be insane. I don't know if I could do that. Hmm. Claire possibly could. Claire could run a fiber. Claire from Crochet with Claire is coming to our retreat as well, just to throw that out there. Game Widow says no, about to drag out the old machine. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ruth says it's still too far. So for those of you in America, like, because we're just spitballing ideas here, like there's nothing set in stone, it's just ideas. Um, but say I chose a location in America. You guys are all over the shop over there as well, same as Australia, it's a big country. Would you travel interstate to some other American location? Just out of curiosity, not to say there's no plans, but I'm just curious, like, hypothetically, if I was to run some sort of retreat or event in the US, would you travel from wherever you are to wherever that would be? Because I have no idea where that would be. It would be somewhere near an international airport. Um, Allison says overseas retreat. Yeah, well, that's a good point as well. How many from Australia would travel over to an overseas retreat? That's an excellent question as well. Um, Angela says, "I wish I could, but my mum needs me at home." I totally understand that. We all have our commitments. Um, Pat Jacobs, hello. Good to see you in the chat. Um, Leanne says, "I don't fly, but I do a good road trip depending on where it is. I love to drive, and I could take all the extras with me from the locals." That's actually an excellent point, Leanne. That's one of the things with Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show is um, I always make sure that, I drive down because of all the stuff I have to take. Oh, Kelly, that is an excellent point. If it was an overseas retreat, it would need to be longer. Yeah. Um, I mean, I love the idea, but yeah. But what happens if we get there and it's a horrible venue that we've had to sort of choose, and then we're just stuck there for even longer? Oh my gosh. I've been Googling paying for business class so I could change posture easier for long distance travel. It's exy, but it'd be worth it to travel. Okay. Do you know what? I'll tell you something right now. I never even considered that the Australian girls would not want to come over to the US for a US retreat. I didn't even consider it. Like how small minded am I? How short sighted am I? Um I would I would consider traveling overseas, but I'd need to know well in advance so when I say I mean my husband, can start saving. I mean, that's also an excellent point because that would this is just like literally that jumped into my head just right then during the live stream. There is no secret plans in play. You have heard everything about it. That's it. I was just curious. So, we've got to plan the next local retreat first. Yeah. What if you organized a group to travel to the next Ply camp? I mean, that's actually not a bad idea to piggyback off another retreat. And then after that, go and have like 2 or 3 days or something just with us or something. I don't know. I mean, that could work. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Anyway, before I go, like my passport is expired. I cannot travel outside of the country right now. I mean, I've got to go and lodge my replacement, but it's- I've got to feel photogenic. Mm. The other option would be to chat with Stephanie from It's Crochet O'Clock and find out if we could piggyback and have a group retreat, or or talk with Claire and organize a crochet with Claire and a fiberific retreat together. I mean, these are all options. These are all options. Now, I just need to realize let the not laptop, I let the iPad go to sleep. Going to sleeps. Um, Alrighty. So I don't know where my crochet hook is. I like got everything out and organized, and then I moved it all to lay the blanket out. And I'm like, where did I put the crochet hook and the scissors? They're together. There they are. They're under the blanket. That's helpful. That's so helpful. Um, so let's have a look here. Sally needs a new passport. New Zealand road trip, anyone? New Zealand's so beautiful, and there's some wonderful places to have retreats there. Um, Crochet cruises. Yes, there used to be crochet cruises out of Brisbane. I had a couple of friends who used to go, and they loved it. Claire and I talked about that many years ago. We tossed up whether or not we should host our own crochet cruise, but we don't know. It's epic. That's an epic thing to plan. That's so huge. um, Allison says yes, New Zealand. Oh, mate, we'll have to put some poles in the field and get some feelers out there into the fun zone. I realized yesterday that the fun zone has nearly 600 members in it. And I was just like, I remember when there was like 200 and I was like, whoa, 200 is so many. But now there's like I think it was actually 599 as of last night. So, look, you know what? That's so annoying. Last night, I went to open, like, a bag of frozen broccoli or something like that. Broccoli? Hmm, maybe not. Anyway, something it was a bag, it was a plastic bag, and I'm using the scissors, and the scissors are, like, munchy, and then oh, that's what it was. I was pouring cereal into the cereal container, and I opened the top of the cereal bag. That's what it was. I had to think about it because 'cause I'm thinking, "I didn't have broccoli at dinner last night." Um, and the scissors were, like, gummy and, like, they wouldn't, like, open and close properly. And so I was just like, "Oh, this is so annoying." So I've opened them right up and then oiled it and cleaned and oiled up the scissors. But when I was opening them up, I actually pinched my finger just right here, and it's actually like a little cut. It is a little cut. It's not just a bruise. But man, it's annoying. It's so annoying. Um, it is so, so annoying. Polling is totally necessary. I think so too. I think so too, because if we do something that's out of Australia, it's going to be a huge undertaking. So, because I have to look at the rules. There'd be rules and laws about me, especially for me working outside of Australia, even for like, but I think that there's differences for conferences and retreats. Anyway, I'd have to look into it more, but surely it must be doable. Um, I can't imagine why it wouldn't be doable. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the scissors are just they just munch my finger, but at least with where it is, like the last time it was over the top of my finger, which meant that I couldn't tension the yarn without a Band-Aid, and the Band-Aid was just as annoying. John Pullum, welcome to the chat. Nice to see you here, and thank you. I am also enjoying my new haircut. It's not quite as short as yours, but you know, I'll get there. I'm braving it up. Um, Freaky Geek, it's good to see you in the chat here. So, yeah, it's definitely an option would be to run an event outside of Australia. It would still be small, it would still be low key because they're the kinds of events that I like, low key and chill. I like events where we can have time to talk to each other. Um, Freaky's so right. Freaky is so right. So I've taken up a new hobby of how can I hurt my finger and still grow? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely seems to be the theme, doesn't it? And it's the same finger. Like, what's with that? Uh, it's brutal is what it is. I'm just getting used to the new repeat here. Oh, you guys, Louis has tried to take ownership of this blanket. I'm not kidding. So he's got a little bed just down here. It's got an Oodie on it, man. Like an Oodie is like $100 massive warm thing. Check them out. If you want to buy one, DM me. I'll send you a link to save you. I think it's like 30% off. Um, but Louis got the most squishy, comfortable, extravagantly ridiculous little bed in here, right? But no, that's not good enough. Yesterday I was sitting in here working and I could hear him snuffling about, scratching around. And I look over and I normally have the chair just here behind me and this blanket sits on that chair when I'm not working on it. And there's Louis pulling the blanket down to the floor and then just like nesting in it, like, that's better. So it's like, dude, this is not a floor blanket. So I've popped him off. I've put him on his bed and then I put the blanket back up on the chair. And he literally looked at me, basically rolled his little dog eyes at me, and then walked back over and started pawing at the blanket to pull it back. So I just put him up on top of the blanket on the chair. And I just like he just was like, "Okay, that'll do. I'll have that." And he just laid there for 4 hours while I worked. I kept checking on him. I'm like, "Are you sick?" But no, he was just happy. And I was just like, "Far out, man. Like this blanket has taken me 2 years to make and like hundreds of dollars of yarn, hundreds of stitching hours, and it's not a dog blanket. It's not a dog blanket." Ugh. Um, That's your daredevil finger. It is my daredevil finger. It's the one that just gets in the way of everything. Maybe it's like my finger shield. It protects the rest of my body from whatever damage I'm gonna do to it. John, you are right. Louis is adorable. He's a total muppet, and he knows he's cute, and he gives you these looks like, "You couldn't get angry at me because 'cause I'm so adorable." Um, yeah. Yeah, that finger doesn't know how to get out of the way. Yeah, that's exactly there's so much. There's so much. Um, but it's a bit bruisey and pinchy because it only happened yesterday. It's just tender, okay? It's a tender finger and it's just sad. And now I'm making it hold things. Oh dear. Does anybody else have like kamikaze fingers that just jump in the way of, like knives and scissors and what's really funny is it's my left hand. So usually it's not I suppose my right hand's usually the one wielding the knife or the scissors. And then this hand's no okay, all right, makes sense that it's the left hand now. Okay. Backing it up. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Now, so we've talked about Game Winner says no, but she has a kamikaze toe. Okay. Um, so we've got I wonder who came up with knitting. It seems so complex. Hang on a second. Um, I wonder who came up with knitting. It seems so complex, and someone had to be the first one to figure out how to do it. I think about these things as well, John, like knitting and crocheting and spinning and just all of these things. Who went, do you know what? Let's do this thing. Let's just do this and make it work. Spinning, I can kind of see how that would have happened because, like, you pick up a bit of fluff off the ground and twirl and realize, hang on a second, that's heaps stronger. So, yeah, it's just, it is bizarre, isn't it? It's always, I just think about these things as well, John. And I also think about who worked out which foods were safe and which foods were not safe. Like, who decide you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those ones, like, there's probably some dead people out there from eating things that aren't safe, and their clansmen are like, "Yeah, let's not eat that again. What about this other thing?" And it's like, "Do you wanna eat it? I don't wanna eat it. Look what happened to Barry when he ate the other one." Um, it's always the crafting fingers that get injured. Yes, like, seriously, why couldn't it be one of these other fingers that I don't use so much? But no, it's this one. Ugh. Um What other fingers are there? I suppose that's a good point. Um, wow, right versus left hand rivalry sounds so much like siblings. Yep. Um, yeah, it's a bit like that, John. It's like someone was sitting there with a couple of chopsticks and some yarn and suddenly made a hat. Yes, absolutely. Welcome to the chat, Angelus. Freaky geeks jumping in here with fishermen used to knit their fishing nets, and when not fishing, had wives help them mend the nets. The wives then made changes while the men were away on boats. Oh, come on, that's like grr. I'm going to move on. The earliest example of true knitting is a pair of socks found in Egypt, dating back to AD 1100, just over 9 centuries ago. Wow, far out. Um, Would it have been born from hang on, would it have been born from the need to mend things like fishing with their nets? Yeah, possibly, but, like, nets is different, like, you don't knit nets. They've got a special hook that you use. It's more like crochet than knitting, but yeah, John, there's so many things, isn't there, like, that come up with the words that we use and names. So many questions, so little time. I agree with you. Um Freaky. Excellent point. Hello to all showing up. Hit the button and change the top to live chat. So YouTube, if you're looking at your live stream chat right now, and at the top it says top chat, YouTube sometimes feel that they know which comments you'd like to see and in what order. So they change that around. So if you hit live chat, you get to see every comment in the correct order. And I definitely recommend that. So if you want to do that, you can. Um, there's also when writing came out to keep track of the food that killed Barry. We need, don't eat that. It killed Barry. We need that on a shirt. People are just gonna be like, "Who's Barry?" Random name that just popped into my head when I'm just oh, goodness me, you guys. Knotted nets, absolutely, they're knotted rather than knitted. Um, so yeah, uh, how many times can they kill that poor chap? Well, I mean, like, because yeah, some things might have just made Barry really sick, um, and, you know, but then there's also the things that only made Barry sick that didn't make Cassandra sick. So, like, there's always different foods. Um, yeah, like, that's the thing, John. Some curse words are like they're probably just something that just fell out of someone's mouth when they were really angry, and it didn't mean anything, and it was just like a random sound that then they had to describe. Yeah. Oh, Ruth Young, 33 more rows until the charisma is done. Nice job. I've still got like a zillion rows. It feels like it's not. It's not pictures. I mean, it's not a zillion. I'm trying to like use words and read words at the same time. Tali says picture on the cave wall. Yep. But like, like they draw the picture on the cave wall, but is that the blueberries or the orange berries that they can't eat because, they couldn't have all the colors. Um Yeah, it would be pretty cool to be like, "I came up with that word." It's like that I invented Post-it notes. Oh my gosh, it would be that claim to fame, wouldn't it? That would be so fun. That would be so fun. Oh dear. So what have you all been up to this week? I've just been doing, like, work stuff. I've had a really fun experience with my bank this week. So I had to pay a subscription, and because I had, like, a whole pile of credits, the actual fee that came out was, like, $1. And then one of my suppliers tried to charge my credit card for the big shipment they were sending me, and the bank declined it because of the timing of the dollar and then their big, like, $1,000. The bank thought it was scammers, like, testing to see if the card worked. The card works and hit it. And now, like, I've called the bank. They're like, "Yeah, we fixed it." The supply still gets declined, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, this is such a nightmare." So that's been my week. That and sorting out, like, new graphics for live streams and, coming up with some new ideas and plans and editing a video and releasing a video and all that sort of stuff. So let me know what you've been doing this week. Freaky said, "It would be my luck to come up with a new word that I can't spell." Um, Watched an awesome video on walking wheels the other day. They are very interesting. Um, oh, Game Widow says, "So it seems that all the jostling around and putting the screws back in my sewing machine has shifted the issue and now it works." Well, that is something. That is absolutely something. John, you know what, John? You're 100% right. It is good to have the bank watching out for me. But when I asked them to release it and allow that supplier, they said, yes, they have. And now the supplier's been declined 3 more times. So, and even last night, I stayed up to like 9 a.m. Michigan time to ring them with a different credit card. And because it's still a business, like part of my business account, it got declined as well. So they're being amazing. They're being absolutely amazing. But I've got to call the bank again today and be like, guys, what's going on? You're killing me here. And the Aussie dollar's tanking. So it's like every time they try to put it through, it's going up in price because the conversion from US to Australian dollars is just becoming worse and worse. um, hey Rebecca, good to see you in the chat. Kathy's working on a hydrangea blanket, finished a baby blanket, washed and blocked, and also is that all of that 130 hats that you made washed and blocked? Oh my gosh. John has been working on a new set for a new channel. Ooh, that sounds exciting, John. That sounds so fun. Um, Freaky says, I got a new to me secondhand spinning wheel free. Took pictures. Can I post in the fun zone? Absolutely, you can for sure. Go and put them in there. I want to see your new wheel. Angela says, I've been crocheting mostly this week and cooking. Made some good chicken and noodles the other day that was very tasty. Oh, I love it when something comes together in the pan. Hey, John, welcome to the chat. Good to see you in here today. I hope you're having an awesome week. Dolores is designing a new veggie garden area for the hubby. Hubby's doing all the actual work. I like that. Like that. That cracks me up. Angela, hang on. That was just a conversation. We're getting our bathroom remodeled, and the guy doing it had a family emergency. So we have had a new bathtub in our living room for a week. No, I can't imagine that that's actually fun. Oh my gosh, Kathy, you ended up with 141 hats. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Um, Kelly says, I had a cold all week, so too sick to work, but means that my cardigan sleeves are getting my full attention. That is awesome. I love that. Will it be ready for next weekend? Dolores is also making progress on her next Christmas stocking. So how many is that down now? Because you had, I want to say 13 to do, but my brain's going, no, it was 12. So you had a handful to make. What number are you up to now? Free says, I nearly didn't make it tonight. I was playing Minecraft. Awesome. You got to have some fun. Like, have your fun where your fun's at, honestly. So many hats, right? That's just so many hats. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so I've been working on something else as well. So I've been working on the mitts for my mum, which are just here. So when these are what I've been working on. I realized I had like a mistake this far back in one of them, and I had to pull it off, put it on some other needles and fix it all. You can see the line here. That's where I hopefully blocking will solve that. But yes, had to fix all that up. So that's awesome. So they're back on track, which is these are 2 at a time fingerless mitts. So they're going really, really well. But I did something naughty, and I cast on another hat, and it was a crochet hat. Guys in the Zoom chat, can someone or one of the mods, can you grab the link to that hat that I shared? The one that I shared the other day. I started working on that one because I was like, that looks like so much fun. And it's a crochet rib hat. And I made a bad decision. So I've frogged it and I've put it aside for now. My bad decision was that this hat looks amazing with a pom-pom, and I only have one pom-pom right now that's not in use. So it's this black pom-pom with like brown tingy edges on it. It's really gorgeous. So I'm like, you know what? I got some beautiful like luxury Bendigo black. That's a no. That's a no from me. For a start, black's probably not my favorite color yarn to work in. Secondly, it turns out that the band, the oops, I just whacked the microphone. The band that goes around your head is a back loop only slip stitch rib band. Yeah, doing that in black is not awesome. It's really hard to see, and it's taken, and like, you know, you've got to do like 120 rows. It took me like 4 hours to do like 20 rows. And I'm like, dudes, this is not happening. It's just so bad. But the hat itself is so adorable. So I definitely want to make it, just not in black. I got to find some other yarn. I got to get something else. I got to order something because I realized I don't have 150 grams of DK in anything that's not acrylic at the moment. It's disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself. It's okay. Let me look here in the chat, just catching up. John's catching up on his weather blanket, skipped some squares since he had to wait for his squish mail delivery. There we go. Dolores, yes, 13. Currently on number 9. That is awesome. That's going great. Anyone who gets this grey marble bag gets free tears. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh no, what's happened? My chat just refreshed. That's annoying. Rebecca's been enjoying her new phones. That's cool. I'm still Molly's still, hey Molly, welcome to the chat. Still working on her blue cable jumper, nearly finished sleeve 1. Sally's like, please hold, while she runs off and grabs a link. Thank you, Sally. Can you show us the hat? No, I can't show you the hat because I didn't make it. I got, like, this far into the bend and just went, "Yep, nope, out." It's out in the lounge room, I don't even have it in here. But Sally's grabbed a link. It's such a cool hat pattern. I love the idea of it. Um, Leanne's grabbed it as well. Everyone's grabbed the link. Right click on that link if you wanna have a look at it. Now on the, website, you can actually work on the pattern for free, but there are so many ads. Seriously, I was just like, "This is annoying." But there's also a YouTube video, which is super helpful, and there's also a paid version. And I was this close to going, "You know what? $4 is worth it so I don't have to put up with these stupid ads." That bugs me. I understand why people charge their patterns, and this is a beautiful pattern, and I love that, and I would happily pay for it. What I don't like is when people decide, "I'm gonna do a free version," and then stick ads all over it. Like, there were pop-up ads. There are like, I had to move ads out of the way to get to the next like, few banner ads on the side or a few ads as paragraphs, I can live with that. But, like, this was just excessive. This was, like, to make me want to go and pay for the patent, except I'm really, stubborn, and I'm like, "I'm not paying for this patent now, not after they did this." Oh, it's refreshed again. I do have, John's there. Uh, let me just no, Chintamani, you can't. You can't hold 2 4-plies together and get an 8-ply. In saying that, one of the versions of the hat that she did exactly that. Um, but how much harder would that be doing a slip stitch rib if you've got to try and grab 2 strands? Like, that would be even harder. That would be even harder. So yeah. Oops. Carries down the rabbit hole. All her whips are packed for the move. Oh gosh, I hope that your move goes well and is fast. Why are all the whips packed? There should be one for in the car, right? Hey Steph, welcome to the chat. Um, let me look here. We call sweaters jumpers here in Australia. Yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. Um, I don't know why the difference, honestly, but we do. Kathy says my computer goes crazy with all the ads. Yep, I agree. Hey Nettie, welcome to the chat. What have you missed? What is this hat? No, scroll up into the chat. Scroll up a little bit. There's a link for the hat. I use print friendly website to convert a website to PDF and just get the pattern without framing, ads, etc. Oh, that's I'm gonna have to. I didn't even think of that. You're very smart, Kelly. Very smart. Um, yes, that makes lots of sense. That's an excellent. I like that. Yes, I agree. It's an excellent cheat for sure. Definitely. So yeah, but the pattern itself looks fantastic. It looks like everybody who's making it is making it with success. Um, and so I do want to make it, just not with black yarn. So I'm gonna have to source myself some yarn. If you're in the fun zone, you would probably already see it. But if you're at Bendigo Woolen Mills, I've got a big special on at the moment where you can get a kilo of their bloom yarn for $65, which is fantastic value. Um, so if bloom is your thing, I bought some bloom when it very first came out and I did not like it, but I know that they've made some changes. So, but if bloom's your thing, that is excellent value. Like a kilo is a huge amount. Like it's well and truly enough for a sweater. Um, yeah, you guys taunting me with poking the bear. I can hear Abby and Louie out there like being silly. It sounds kind of cute. So I've nearly finished my coffee, but I also made my tea to licorice legs tea. So I will not run out of hot beverages. I also remembered today water, which, is useful when one is talking for 2 hours. Um, Sally got the circle of doom. Oh my gosh. Sally, Does anyone else getting the circle of doom? I'm not getting the circle of doom because I actually have the stream open here from what's like so I can see what's hitting YouTube. Um, John says no school for Abby. So Abby is in the middle of what we call an exam block here in Australia. So she's just about finished her year of school. Australia's school year runs from February through to November or December, depending on the school. And she finishes mid-November, so she's just having an exam block at the moment. So that means that as she is a senior, she only attends school during her exam time, which she has an exam this afternoon, so she'll go for that. But she got to sleep in this morning, and they're supposed to study in that additional time. Abby just uses it for extra sleep. So yeah, it is. It is her it's called the mock externals exam. It's like a practice run for her end of financial year, end of senior year exams. They have a big practice run. John is heading out. John, have an awesome night. Thank you. I will try to have a great one as well. It's good to see you. Um, yeah, I've got a live stream happening over on the other channel tomorrow. If you want to jump over and check that out tomorrow, that would be cool. John's been a guest over on the other channel. We had an awesome conversation. So if you want to know more about John Pullum, you can find out more because he has been a guest over on the other channel. And Russell, who jumps in here every now and again, he might not be here anymore, but he's going to be a guest in the future. So yeah, same time tomorrow. Yes, it is the same time this one starts. So 10 a.m. for me. So I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific time, I think, off the top of my head. I could be wrong. So yeah. Yeah, John O'Brien. I agree. It's a clever use of time for Abby. Like she's having a nice sleep in. But I was a bit stressed this morning because she has to leave around the same time, or if not just before the live stream finishes. So that I've like making sure that her uniform's laid out and everything's all ready to go. And then it's like just as the live stream was about to start, I had to run in and make sure she was awake. Because I didn't want her to keep sleeping until I finished the live stream. Ruth says, I have to run, everyone. 4:30 comes out. Yeah, it does. Have an awesome night, Ruth. It's good to see you in the chat. John says, kids will be at their first Cub Scout meeting of the year tomorrow at this time. Because US kids went back to school yesterday. Is that right? I thought I could hear my little door being opened then, but no. So yeah, US kids have just gone back to school after, let me think, that's after a break. Is it yes, is it the beginning of the school year or has it been the first set of holidays after the school year started? Because I thought you guys started in June or July. I don't know. All these different countries running different school years. It's perplexing. Makes sense though. John says he's went back last Thursday. Okay, cool. Beginning of the year. Not in, so net in not in the US. It's not the beginning of the year. Oh, sorry. You mean as in it was the beginning of their school year? I don't even know. Beginning of the school year. Okay. So it's the UK that must go back in June or July. July. The UK go back in. So everyone's different. Everyone's different. Kathy said that their kids go back tomorrow. So different states, different rules. That's the same thing as here in Australia as well. Our states stagger their holidays so that our local holiday destinations are not overwhelmed. I actually think that's the real reason for it. I don't think there's any other reason. They stagger the ends and starts of the school holidays. Angela says most schools in Indianapolis started at the end of July. Yeah, that's where I'm confused. I know that in the UK they started them at the end of July. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. There's just so many. But yeah, so kids are back to school for you guys. Abby's not at school today, but will be later on. Um, and she finishes all of her high schooling in the middle of November. So yes, we have not heard anything more about Abby's vet stuff. So yeah. Kathy says different school districts decide individually. Oh wow. Okay. I didn't realize it would go down to that sort of smaller, like close in. Yeah, up here I think it's we have like different like private and like private schools and independent schools we call them up here um run their own slightly different things. Like Abby's school has an extra week of school holidays in the middle of the year than the state schools do. And she also gets a little bit of extra time at the end of the year, but her school day is longer as well. So, um, yeah, it's all just a little bit, it's just a little bit different. Each school is a little bit different as well. Um, Net says it seems so strange only having a 2-week break at Christmas in the UK. Yeah, it is definitely, it would be weird because like that's our big 6-8 week break. So because it's our summer holiday over Christmas. So oh, excellent. Freaky Geeks pop photos of his new spinning wheel over in the fun zone. So if we all want to go and ooh and ah over that, we can. Going to the school play at lunch. Oh, nice, Talia. That's awesome. So yeah, like it. What did we talk about last week? We were talking about technical schools and the different colleges, and like we have some of the most diverse conversations in this group. Honestly, we talk about random, crazy, awesome things, and I love it so much. I love it so much. So at the beginning of the stream, when I was talking about how I'm going to be changing up thumbnail strategy and titling and things like that, um, I'm gonna be only changing a few things because I don't wanna lose this. I'm not gonna all of a sudden start making our lives for the replay where, I just talk about something in particular for the live stream and ignore the chat. To me, that I don't see the point in that. That's not what we're here for. Um, but I will be just making sure that I try and change up the thumbnails. That's basically all I'm gonna do, really. Because we have our community here and we love our community. And I will be adding in some extra video content to try and, follow the rules and not the rules, but the suggestions and the guidelines and do as I say, not as I do. um, Game Widow says where I grew up, Christmas holidays were harvest time, so we only got about a week off before heading back out into the paddocks. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, Fair enough. When I was at school, like when I was younger, um, my mum ran a, I don't know what you call it in the US, but here we call it a fast food van. So it's basically like a little caravan that pulls up at the beach and we made like burgers and hot dogs and chips and salad rolls and all that sort of stuff and drinks and that sort of thing. Except ours had a permanent location. We didn't have to move it. And so school holidays, I worked in there. What, Nettie? What? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Um, Freaky says I've left a few channels because the host or hostess only talked to 3 or 4 people when there were more than that in the chat trying to communicate. That's rude. Food trucks. Okay, that's what. All right, fair enough. Food trucks. Oh, Nettie's getting a puppy. Okay, Nettie, we need details and we need photos in the fun zone. Like we need to see because we love puppy stuff. We love puppy stuff here. Food trucks. Thank you. Food trucks. Um John, I'm not showing that one, but yes, it was that sort of thing. But ours was literally a little caravan with a little pop-out window. It was very cute. And we worked very hard in there. And during the summer holidays, it was very busy because we were on a beach island. What other island? It was an island, okay? Most islands are beach islands. But yeah, it was an island. and it was very touristy, so we had lots of business during the summer holidays. But yeah, we had oops, I've just moved my hands forward, sorry. It was so much fun, and I learned so many skills. It's one of those things, isn't it? You learn stuff when you work. Oh, we're up to the last repeat. I've just got to move the pattern so I don't screw it up. You know the drill. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, so I just screw up the next stitch entirely. It's like, yeah, I'll just invent a stitch for that one. And then we do that. Oh, you guys, yesterday it took Abby to get her formal dress fitted. I've done something wrong, haven't I? Oh, yes, I have. There we go. I see what I did. I worked into the stitch I wasn't supposed to work into. Skip that one. Work in that one. And that one. Just give me a second. I've got to watch the pattern for just a minute longer. So a minute, not a second. Give me a minute. And there we go. All right. Snippers. Try not to cut my own hand again. Okay. All righty. Let's have a look here. I missed some stuff. Yep. Want to see pics? Absolutely. It was a desert island, not a water island. Freaky says, how long do you think this is finished and you start on another large one, different colors? I just don't. Love the little frame for my picture in picture. Thank you. Thank you. I love it too. It just makes it stand out more. It's okay, let's have a look. This is what the puppy's gonna be. A Maltese Shih Tzu, red brown color, 10 weeks old, and now I'm getting nervous because it's been 18 years since my last puppy. You'll be fine. Just remember that you have to toilet train them. Freaky, me too. I miss the days when you used to dye the wool and have the chickens clucking around in the background. For those of you that don't know, a few years ago, we used to do regular dye streams where I would actually move all this stuff out to the back patio where I did all the dyeing and set up the camera and everything out there, like double cam. This cam was over dye pans. And I had free ranging chickens and they would just walk through and just they're not quiet. They're like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? Are you gonna drop anything cool for us? And it was so much fun. But I really miss doing the dyeing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um, if I had a beach food truck, I'd call it Desert Island. Yeah. Or you know what? You could have a beach food truck called Desert Island that only sold desserts just to confuse people. So they'd have to double check the spelling every time. Yeah, no problem remembering the toilet training. They'll remind you. Yes, they will. They will. Chicken watch. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Many years ago, I was in a Discord chat and it was like with just this really small group. Everyone else was American. I was sort of like, I didn't know why I'd been invited, but I'd been invited and I was just sitting there quietly listening. My mic wasn't on mute, but I wasn't talking and there was no real noise. Then all of a sudden, the host goes, what's that noise? And everyone's quiet. I'm sort of looking around. I'm like, I can definitely hear something. And then someone goes, it's coming through that lady's microphone, like, you know. And I was just like, I'm sort of sitting there and I'm trying to think what the noise was. And it was one of the chickens at the back door going, "Brrr, brrr," and it was so funny. And that was it. And I was like, oh, sorry, that's one of my chooks. And I didn't realize chooks was an Australian thing. It's not really a word that they knew. And because I hadn't spoken yet, they didn't know I was Australian. And that was it. It was on for young and old, and I had to share a photo on Twitter of because I went out and grabbed no, not on Twitter, in the Discord. I had to run out and take a photo of the chicken at the door. And yeah, it was just so funny, honestly. It was just so funny. What have I done here? Back to this one, back to the start. Okay. But yeah, I've had a lot of practice doing chickens. Yeah, I'm really good at chicken noises. Just ask me, I'll tell you. I do a chicken really well. Thank you. Embarrassment plus. Yeah, it was like, I was just like, and then after that, it was like, say this word, say this word. And I'm like, dudes, I'm not a performing monkey. And they're like, no, you're a performing chicken. And that was it. And we all ended up fast friends after that. It was really a lot of fun. But yeah. Questions about riding kangaroos? No, but there were questions about, are kangaroos really walking around in the streets and like hopping all over the place? And it was just like, look, I've lived in places where absolutely that happens, but not where I am now. I'm in the suburbs. And but it's only like 5 minutes away and they are. So, and they're like, no way. It's like, yes way. Yes way. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm just moving my pattern over here. Let me look here. I moved it too far, so I can't. I've got to do some stitches before I've caught up to where I moved the pattern to. My chickens are watching through the screen door. Yeah, see, chickens are spies. They are legit spies. My old white hen, she was creepy, right? She wouldn't just stand there and look at you through the door. She'd look side on and look at you like, what are you doing? I can see you. And you'd just be like, oh my God, you're scaring the life out of me. Yeah. In some places we have wallabies not far from me. Yeah, it's not far. It's basically anyone who's got acreage has got it. Russell's learning Australian, so it's like, you're not in Whoop Whoop, but it's 5 minutes away. Yeah, pretty much. Koalas on the side, koalas on lampposts. Yeah, drop bears. That's a good one. I was on an international Zoom chat. It was early morning. Dawn happened, and the resident crow and magpie had an argument next to the window before me. Scared the hosts. I just rolled my eyes. Yeah, yeah. Our wildlife in Australia is a little eyebrow raising. So, yeah, it's just, Stacey says, that's so funny. My daughter calls one of my chickens side eye. Yeah, because they do. They're like, because of how their faces are, they do get better vision if they look side on. But yes, it's unnerving for sure. Okay, that's going to be an easy repeat. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's like a waltz. 1, 2, 3, stitch. 1, 2. Well, technically this is, yeah. Anyway, it's not a waltz because there's a 4-stitch repeat. They live in the long grass in a park, like Pokemon. Like what? I don't understand. Sally, what's 4, 5, 6? Oh, sorry. Took me a second. Just ignore me. It's fine. It's totally fine. Oh dear. You guys are not my friends. I see what you're doing there, Talia. Not my friend. I might accidentally have to do a typo on your name badge now. I mean, we know I can do it. We know I can do it. No. Waltz has steps, not stitches. Good point, Freaky. Excellent point. I'm very sorry. I was very wrong. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Okay. So I don't know if there'll be a live stream or not next week. I've got to wait and see how much work I can get done this weekend and through the week, ready for the retreat. But I just want to throw it out there just to, if you guys come looking for it and can't find it, it may not exist. We'll see. Oh, John, I love that movie so much. It cracked me up. It was just such a good movie. Such a good movie. So many cool one-liners in that one. That would have been posted sooner, but I couldn't recall how to spell waltz. Yeah, it's one of those words, isn't it? It just doesn't look right. Oh, I got dry, itchy. Excuse me. That did not solve the problem because it is cold. Pouring some tea now, guys. It's going to be a bit hot. Let's see if we can do some ASMR noises. How'd that sound? Anyone need to go to the bathroom? Oh dear. I'll have to listen back on that one. Yeah, see, Molly, it just depends on where you are. Sometimes there are kangaroos and wallabies everywhere. Game Winner says we have bin chickens in the long grass at the park near the end of my street. We're having some problems with local bin chickens that have taken up roosting on the sides of the highway. And it is not awesome. Not awesome at all. Oh, and for those of you who don't know what bin chickens are, they are ibises. So they're a big stalk-looking thing with a big black hook nose. So, yeah. It is one of those things. Ha ha, everybody. Although it does backfire because I can't run away like you guys can. You can just disappear for a minute. I can't do that. And not without you noticing anyway. Like vengeance is sweet. Oh, man. I should possibly have put a little Band-Aid on it because there is a little cut in the skin that just keeps, hooking. Squishy mail from Charlie just arrived. Oh, that's so exciting. Smooshes face into delicious fluffs. Oh, I love good squish mail. Ibis. Oh, here we go. We have the official word on the ibis. A shallow water feeding birds that got hooked on people food. Yes, they have gotten hooked on people food. They'll take you out for a chippy, bit like a seagull. They'll also steal your entire burger. They're like, thanks, we'll have that. John says no chickens or bin chickens, but on the drive home I had to wait for 6 turkeys to cross the road. Is that animal turkeys or just annoying people? Just checking in the stream here. So yeah, look, I'm behind again with this blanket because I've been focusing on other things. Oh yeah, there's nothing like being swarmed by ibis and seagulls at a beach. Yeah. I actually don't like beach picnics, to be honest, because of sand. I don't like sand in my food. I would rather not eat until I can wash the sand off my body, and then I will have the foods. I do not like the sand. Where did bin chickens come from, as they were not on the Gold Coast when I went to the UK in '84 and then came in '94? Look, I just think that I think ibis are native to Australia, but I think habitats got trashed and they just went where the food was. I think that's basically what it came down. John, I too like some masala chicken, honestly. Masala is amazing. So, yes. Oh, the flightless bird variety, John. Excellent. Excellent. On one of my scouts on her first shot camp rang me. Huh? On her first shot camp rang to say there were kangaroos everywhere. I said, I know, I've been there before. She replied, you don't understand. They're everywhere. Yep. Kangaroos, they're actually a slight problem at the moment, and the kangaroo culling squads are not keeping up. Like, they're unable to keep up with the numbers. So, yeah, it is a bit tricky. Oh, the yarn is tangled. Like, this giant ball is starting to become an issue. Like, it's, when you get to a certain point when you're working from the inside out and it starts to collapse on itself. I didn't consider how much of a nightmare a ball this size collapsing on itself could be. I probably should have worked from the outside. John says my favorite chicken is General Tso's. My daughter had her chip snatched out of her hand by a tip turkey when she was little. Tip turkeys are also ibis, right? Just to double check. Tip turkeys, bin chickens, they're all ibis. Unless tip turkeys are also um, seagulls, because there's also seagulls at the tips. Um, Kangaroo culling squads. Yeah, look, there's humane ways to kill them, and these squads are doing that. And because of how they're doing it, it also means that the kangaroo can actually be used for human consumption. So kangaroo meat is a thing that we export. It is consumed in Australia, but not at great quantities. But our export of it is huge. It's exceptionally lean, very healthy red meat. Apparently, I can't deal with the smell of it. It's too gamey for me. I've tried. I've had kangaroo sausages, kangaroo mince, kangaroo steak. Uh, it has to be slow cooked if you're going to have it as steak. You can't just fry it up. But yeah, not really my favorite red meat. Yeah, kangaroos are prolific. Tip turkey equals a bin chicken. Thank you. I just needed to clarify on that one. Oh, seagulls are sky rats, of course. Sorry. We're learning all of the things today. Sky rats, rats with wings. Oh yeah, I've had Kookaburra steel sausages off the barbecue at a picnic grounds. Like, it was crazy. You're lucky that's all that happened at picnic at Hanging Rock Game of Widows. Um, Lisby says I had a reindeer hot dog when I was in Alaska. Tasty, tasty hot dog. Oh, there you go. Nice. See, that's the thing. Like, I mean, are we the only country that eats our national emblem? I'm just curious. Because you can also eat emu. Emus are right roasted. I've had roasted emu before. Um, yeah, they're the animals on our national emblem, emu and a kangaroo, and we eat them. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. It's just a thing. But it's a meat source. It's a lean meat source. It's actually better on the environment than cattle. So I can see the advantages. I just don't like the smell of it cooking. It's just too strong. I'm very sooky when it comes to things. John says, "Nope, we don't eat bald eagles here." Yeah. Emu equals winner of the war. That's right. Emus are winners. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was an emu war. So you can Google that if you need more information on the emu war. They actually won. So, not fond of eating Skippy. Like for me, it's not like I don't have any sort of like, reasons other than I just don't like the smell. Like that's it. I don't have any sort of beliefs around it. So, yeah. I cannot eat kangaroo as I was a grandma to a Joey one. It was just like looking after a baby for our feeds. Her name was Lucy. I had a pet wallaby when I was growing up. Um, Still ate kangaroo. So yeah. Yeah, that's right. There was an emu war and the Aussie Army lost. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, like, mhm. Back the only Skippy I can think of is skipping rope. So we had a TV series in Australia for quite a few years. I don't know how many years, but it was called Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, and it was a bit like Lassie, where the kangaroo would save the day and rescue people and get help and stuff like that, kind of like what Lassie did, except it was Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. What's that, Skip? Joey's caught in the well. Let's go and get him. Come on. And like you're like, what's that, Skip? And then they go, and then, then they had like this kangaroo paw that would come in and touch people's hands. Like it was not the actual kangaroo, but yeah. Skipper the dolphin. Yes, I remember that one as well. Similar sort of idea. Yeah. Yeah. And you ate Skippy. Yes, I didn't actually eat Skippy. I've eaten other members of Skippy's species. Yeah. Leanne says, I don't like the taste. I've tried it a few different ways. It's very lean. My boys and hubby like it. Lots of people do like it. It's not for me. Lisby says, I've eaten Skippy many, many a time. Yeah, Skippy, the Aussie version of Lassie. Yeah, sorry. That was probably the easiest way for me to describe it. Everyone knows Lassie. I have a friend who doesn't like most red meats, but will devour venison. Then your friend would probably enjoy kangaroo. Very, very similar flavor profiles. Apparently. I'm not a fan of venison either. So, you know. It's that whole wild, gamey kind of thing. I'd probably have the same issue with like bison or something like that. Or moose. Moose. Let me look here. I'm just the dolphin was Flipper. That's right. It wasn't Skippy, it was Flipper. I remember Flipper. Flipper was cool. They call yeah, I remember the song now. Yeah. You named your first Mazda Flipper because it was Dolphin Grey. Aw. Did you sing the Flipper theme song to the car? I can just picture it. That'd be very cute. All the cuteness. Guys, I just need to mute for a second. I've just got to double check where Abby's at for getting ready for school. She's not responding to my yells, so I'm going to message her. I'll have to keep an eye on to make sure. My brother tried to call. I just noticed. It's just like, dude, I'm live streaming every Thursday for like the last 6 years. It's not new. We tried buffalo and crocodile while we went to the Northern Territory, and that was okay. Okay. I hope there's no vegans in the chat. Yeah, they'd be pretty I am almost ready to go. Okay. Abby's just responded by yelling through the door. Oh dear. John said bison burgers in Oklahoma. Freaky says, I don't hunt either, but I have had bear and moose meat. Yeah. It's I think it's cool to try these things. I don't know if I would try the bugs, lots of yeah, we heard. I don't know if I'd like, there's a lot of countries where you can get like the tarantulas that are cooked up. I think that's a no from me. Same with the crickets and the grasshoppers and stuff. Nope. I understand that they are highly nutritious. I get it. I just no. That's a no. That's a no from me. So, yes. Yeah, bugs are not. I don't think I'd go with bugs. I actually don't eat a lot of meat. Oops, incoming Abby. Hello, Lou. He can come. You can if you're going to be quiet. You can leave the door open so he can come and go. Yeah, hang on a second. We'll go. Big camera. Here they come, everybody. Hello, Lou.
It's the doo-doo head.
He's very cute.
It's a doo-doo head.
He is a doo-doo head. He's trying to climb up my shoulder. I mean, don't just dump him on me like this. Go on the chair. On the chair.
Oh, you almost dropped him.
I did not almost drop him.
Bye, YouTube family.
Have a good day. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yes.
Who cares?
Just leave it open so Louis can go in and out. All right. Okay. Everyone's saying hi to Abby and Louis. Make sure you close the door behind you, please. I dropped my hook. Where's my hook? I yes, she has grown. She's not little anymore. We were actually watching the video that we had where my brother's running around like a lunatic in the old Fiberific HQ, and Abby was so little. So yeah, she has grown. She's definitely grown. Crunchy might be okay though. Eat all yeah, nope. I've cooked crocodile, kangaroo, wallaby, and emu for an event back in uni. Yep. I've had witchetty grubs. I've had all sorts of things. I've had dugong. My family are Aboriginal, and so we have events with like family events where we're allowed to partake of some of these things that you're usually not allowed to eat because they're protected. Leanne says, so grown up, finishing school is a huge milestone. Yeah. So it is. She's not a little girl anymore. Leanne did. Yeah, Leanne wrote it. Leanne wrote dung beetle, everybody. And if you know Leanne, she doesn't like us talking about dung beetles. She has an issue with the words dung beetle. So yeah, it's a huge step for Leanne to actually come out and type the words dung beetle, with the risk that I may say dung beetle out loud 15 times. Dugong is different. It's I would say it's nearly like lamb. I was so surprised, to be honest. It was it does have like a blubber layer, and you leave that on for cooking. A lot of the family ate that. I couldn't eat it, but the actual meat part of it was like a bit like a chewy lamb. It was quite nice. I like it. It's I'd say more like pork. It's like not red meat as such, but it's like a lamb flavored pork looking thing. That's how I describe it. I'm probably not the best person to describe it. I've only had it a couple of times. So it's yeah. Best friend is Indigenous and very well connected. Yep. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting flavor and texture. But yeah. It is protected. Lisby says, "Weird, I'd love to try it. I thought it was protected." It is protected, but, people of specific, um, uh, cultural groups, in specific regions, like my dad's family can't have dugong because they're from the Central Australia, but my sister-in-law's family can because they're from the, coastal region, and we're at one of her family events, and it meant we were allowed to have it. It's a special event sort of thing. Yeah. Would dugong be like seal? Possibly. I don't know. I've never had seal. I don't know. I mean, they're both underwater mammals, so possibly. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. Yeah, Lisby says, "I think Dad tried it when he was on Thursday Island." Yes, so her family, they brought it with them from Thursday Island. They flew it down. So yeah. Um, so yeah, it is definitely protected, and you can't just go and kill one and eat it. You're not allowed. You'll get serious fines and jail time, I think. It's serious. Um uh no, Bidgera. Game Widows. Lisby has a lemon myrtle tree in her front yard. Nice. I remember I was at something somewhere and we got lemon myrtle ice cream, lemon myrtle and ginger ice cream. And I just remember thinking that was so amazing. What's the weirdest ice cream flavor you've ever had that was good? Weird but good ice cream flavor that you've ever had? Let me know in the chat. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that was the weirdest one I've had, but that's one I remember off the top of my head. Cheese ice cream. Was it good? I don't know. Leanne, have an awesome day. We'll catch you next time. Alison says the big turtles are the same type of rules. Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are the same rules. Waddle ice cream. I was very like cheesecake. Okay, all right, I can see how that's good. Yeah, I like cheesecake. Cheesecake's great. It's my favorite. Actually, is cheesecake my favorite or panna cotta? You know what? I think panna cotta is my favorite, but getting good panna cotta is a lot harder than getting good cheesecake. So, yeah. Knitspin Girl says licorice ice cream. Wow. Sally says not really weird, but new to me. Waddle is a little bit of a weird ice cream flavor. I would say that's valid. I think that's a valid one. Lisby says we made lemon myrtle popcorn. That sounds interesting too. Louis, I don't need Louis Huffingtons going on right now, please. A cinnamon ginger ice cream from the Ginger Factory. Oh. Lemon myrtle panna cotta. That sounds amazing. I would try that. It has the magic word in it, panna cotta. There's not many legit, not horrid things flavored panna cottas I won't try. Let me look here. I just got to check a message here. Sorry, I'm not sure if Abby's having problems leaving the yard because there's plovers. Okay, I'm going to read you guys some stuff, right? So, this is what comes up through my through my story. This is a family chat, and Abby sent a message to our family group saying there's a magpie nut bushing around the top paddock with a worm in its mouth, which she's posted a video. And then my husband's replied back with, shouldn't they be nut bushing at the city limits? It's found heaps of worms. Oh my gosh. Anyway, no plovers. Oh, Abby's just sent a photo of the letterbox. I have a parcel. Oh my gosh, nut bushing around the top paddock. So we've got a section of our yard that's up a little hill. We call it the top paddock. It's not a paddock. It's just a bit of grass, and the magpies love it because magpies love open grass areas. Game Winner says I've also had lavender ice cream, but it wasn't my favorite. Yeah, I've look. I can't imagine lavender being good flavor, but then I'm allergic to lavender, so I don't know. I've seen like lavender brulees and things like that, so I've had to avoid them. I've never eaten lavender. I don't know if I'll have the same reaction on the inside as I do on the outside. Totally not risking it though. Oh yeah, thank you. I ordered it from Amazon.
Oh, I thought someone like it was. Oh, I just saw that.
Do you want to pass it over?
A bit random. I thought one of our neighbors.
Check out how Amazon have shipped it. It's just in its box with like with a postage label on the back.
Yes, Lily.
Thanks, Abs. Because our pepper mill broke again, so I decided to buy a proper one. Not one
I
of
thought one of our neighbors had given it to us and just chucked it in our post box.
It's a bit weird.
Well, I mean, I would have done.
I told everybody about your nut bushing around the top paddock with it.
It was. It was the magpie. It was literally going like this.
Okay. All right. It was legit nut pushing. But you got to go, honey.
I know.
Don't forget snacks. Oh. Yeah, it's like everyone can see I got salt and pepper meals delivered. Oh, man. I think they're just grindies. I don't think I got like press button ones or anything. John says, I like the smell of lavender, but I've never felt the need to lick a candle. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I don't like the smell. Oh, do you know what the thing is? Lavender, the smell doesn't invoke relaxation, it invokes fear. Um, so I don't relax when I smell lavender because I get worried that it's going to cause me breathing issues. Um, so yeah. Uh I will pass on your best of lucks for Abby as well, everybody. I hope you're not allergic to the lavender color. No, I actually love purples. Um, I just realized where you were live. Yes, yes. Sorry, yes. Nettie uses lavender spray to sleep. If I use the lavender spray, I would probably pass out. Maybe not necessarily sleep. But yes, it's supposed to be quite relaxing for people who aren't allergic to it. Makes it very awkward in some places because I don't understand people can legitimate be allergic to it. They're like, "Oh, you just don't like it." And it's like, "No, I'm just gonna have an asthma attack or my skin's gonna peel off." Like, they're my choices. John says, "I lied. I've had lavender tea." I was thinking lilacs. Oh my gosh. Um, Kelly says, "We've had packages delivered like that. So weird. I would have thought it shouldn't be allowed because it's so easy for people to see what you've ordered. But yeah, and therefore easy for people to decide what they want to steal." I agree. Sue Singleton, welcome to the chat. Um, Stephanie Miller, love, love, love lavender. I had a lavender martini at a lavender festival in Banning. That sounds like an awesome, um, an awesome drink. Oh, I can hear my car starting up. Abby's off. Oh no, that's not my car. That's someone else's because it's the neighbors because it's like revving. And I'm like, wait a second. She better not be revving my car like that. But no, it was not Abby. All right, let me just double check where I'm at with the end of this one. 1, 2, and then that. And then 1, 2, and 3. And then boom, we did it. We made it to the end of another row. I figured out I must be weird and backwards. I cannot for the life of me hold the yarn in my left hand for knitting like I do in crochet. Okay. Steph, have you had a chance to watch my continental knitting videos? They might help with the yarn placement. I'm just checking off where I'm up to in the pattern here. To 197. Oh, it's the second last row of this color. Okay. That's cool. We're nearly at the end of a color, you guys. I was like tossing up whether to join it on, but I think I will. I want to look at my pepper mill. Just let me just have a quick look. Do you know what? I think I did buy the push button one, like the because it's got a light on in use mode. Like what? It is. I bought electric ones. I did not mean to. It was 2 for like $30. I didn't expect them to be electric. Has anyone else got electric pepper mill? Is it any good? I'm nervous now. I just want it to work, really. So the other day, right, I went to crack some pepper onto my eggs, as I do, because I like pepper on my eggs. And I go to grind the pepper, and the whole top just flew off. Unground peppers, like just everywhere, right? And it is. I was sort of standing there, like when you're like, what? Um, and my husband walks in. Oh yeah, I think I broke it this morning. I'm like, so you just left it there? You just left it on the bench? So like with its little lid on and everything. And so basically you had to like really like it broken the seal so that you couldn't just grind because when you ground it the top just came off. So you kind of had to hold the ring in and anyway, it was just painful. And so I'm I'm like, don't I have another Peppermill in the cupboard? So I checked and it was also broken. I was just like, I'm just going to order Peppermill. So I jumped on Amazon and ordered Peppermill. Good reviews, inexpensive price. Like things to match, so it was 2, so I could have salt and pepper, posh Peppermills. I mean, they're great. They've got batteries. Oh, do they come with batteries? Do I need batteries for these? I didn't order batteries. I didn't order any batteries. I hope it comes with batteries. I'm just checking. It says do not immerse for household use only. Oh, it requires batteries and they're not included. Ugh. I wonder if I've got enough. Who else here has a drawer full of batteries that just are never quite exactly what they need for whatever? Me, that's me. I try to keep like full packets of AA's and AAA's and a couple of, and what's the other size? The square ones, the 9 volts. Excuse me, Louis. I put it on the floor so you can have the chair. Please do not eat the box. Batteries not included. Yeah. So, no, get out of it. You're a terrorist. I'm going to lock you out up there. You sit on that chair where there's no blanket. He looked at it and then looked at the table, like where the blanket's laid out. It's like, why have you got my blanket? Oh my goodness. Kelly says we have rechargeable batteries. They are awesome. Yeah, I used to use a lot of rechargeable batteries when Abby was young. He's here. Like, let's see if I can just like. Can you see his little nose? No, you can't see his little nose. He's sniffing the blanket. What are you doing, dude? No, you can't have that. Keep moving. I had to hide my snacks in here because Tim found them and decided he wanted to eat my snacks. No, where are you? What if he just found something? He's found something to steal. I've got to go and retrieve whatever that was. I'll be back. Louis, you terrorist! What have you stolen? It sounds plastic. Retrieved. I'm going to shut the door. Oh my goodness, I'm back. But yeah, when Abby was little, we used to have a lot of rechargeable batteries for all of her little baby musical toy things. But they were just so expensive. I mean, it's probably different now. Yeah, people put the used batteries in the same bag with the mix. Yes, that happens here as well. It's very frustrating. And you know, I'll see my husband do it. It's like, oh yeah, there's not enough charge in it for it to do this thing, but you know, it'll work for something else. I'm like, really? But will it? But will it really? Uh-oh, Louis back. Don't even, dude. All right, this is gonna. What are you doing? He's just snuffling around here, finding stuff to steal. You're not a good dog. You're an evil dog. He's like, I'm not an evil dog. What I'm going to do, this actually, I've just looked at this next row and it's like one of those ones where it's really hard to keep track of. So I'm going to pause that work. We've only got a few minutes left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pop this blanket on the chair. So Louis will sit on the chair and we can chat. There we go. Here you go, Lou. Louis, do you want to sit up there? Come on. I'll help you up. There we go. Okay. It's so big. It is, Jenna. It's so enormous. So it's designed originally to be a queen size blanket. So a queen size here is 2 meters wide, 2 meters long. Oh, here we go. Chloe's trying to get up on the chair now that the blanket's on. It wasn't interested in it before. I'm going to take a photo to share in the fun zone camera. Hey, Lou. Oh God, that's a selfie cam. Louie, what are you doing? Looking adorable on the blanket. That's not a photo. That was a video. Here we go. Don't look at me like that. Jeez, he basically just rolled his eyes at me. So it's a queen size blanket, Australian queen size, which is about 2 meters square. Except I did some bad mathing, and now it's 2.2 meters long, so it's quite large. So I'm going to adjust the border on it and make the border a lot narrower than what I was planning on doing, because it's going to be an enormous blanket. It's just a huge blanket. It's not going to fit in my washing machine. I'm going to have to take it up to the laundromat and use their fancy big washing machines up there. Oh, seriously, that's just too cute. Sorry, everybody. He's just being too adorable. He's just muzzled his face into it. Oi. No, it's like no paparazzi, please. No paparazzi. But yeah, it's a massive blanket. I made some errors in the math. Just a few errors in the math. Freaky says it should have hid until next April. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I think I missed a joke. That happens. Sometimes they just fly over the top of my head and I don't get the joke. Okay, so what are you guys all... I'm just adding some more hot to my tea. It's getting a bit cold. So what are you guys going to be working on this week? I'm planning on taking my queen to retreat with me. So anyone coming to retreat will be able to see how enormous it is in real life. We might lay it on the ground and see how many people can lay on it. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's a shame it's not done because the bedrooms at the retreat are really cute. It'd be good to style some photos there. It won't be done in a week. I should have hid the broken pepper mill. Okay. Sorry. But I'll definitely try and take some photos of retreat for sure, Nettie. Game Widow says that she's working on making bags, a lot of bag. Jenna says I'm working on a fedora hat. Are you crocheting that, or are you felting that, or how are you making that, Jenna? Sally says I'm starting on... Hang on, I'll just wait for it to come across. I'm planning on starting a new knitting project for retreat and maybe a crochet project as well. And that's a photo from Sally at retreat last year. We brought some silly fun things for photos. So, yeah. Angela is going to finish a shawl and a granny square baby blanket and have a soccer match to go to on Saturday. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Crochet. Are you crocheting the fedora? Awesome. Did I get any feedback from Chagu about the swivel cables? No feedback. I know nothing. I'm working on a baby blanket and I used Addy needles instead of Chagu. Never again. Yeah, they're very different. But like again, it depends on which Chagu versus which Addy. I don't mind the Addy gold cables; they're pretty good. But yeah, it just depends. If you're used to the lace tips, you need to make sure you've got the lace Addies. So yep, and Addy clicks are a hard no from me. I bought a set of Addy clicks. I saved up. They were so expensive. They were like $185 for a basic set 10 years ago, and I used them for half a project and got rid of them. Is there a better picture? Oh, it's a better picture of me. Okay. John says he still has 132 squares left for his weather blanket, so he'll be squaring. Finishing off baby things for Leslie. That's awesome. Are you going to be bringing baby things to work on at the retreat as well, Leslie? Nettie says, just as well I didn't find a way to get to the retreat. I'll be chasing a puppy. Well, we're going to miss you at retreat anyway. Oh, Stella, you grabbed the Addy lace. Wow. Okay. Allison says, I'm going to try and organize my very messy craft area and do some spinning. Louis is just in a really cute position. So I'm just going to see. There we go. He's in a little dog puddle. I don't know what his obsession with this blanket is. I really don't. I have to keep the door closed in this room now because he comes in. Louis does not like being in a room by himself, apparently, unless that blanket's in it. So he will come in here and hang out in here with the blanket. Like he'll pull it onto the floor and lay on it. He's got a dog bed that he used to have no problems with, but now he apparently does. Yeah, it's obsession. It's obsession, little dog. So this afternoon, I'll be setting up my new fancy, electric salt and pepper mill. I didn't know they were electric. I just wanted like grindy ones. All the baby things will be done before retreat. So you think you'll bring a shawl and some socks. That's cool. We have city family visiting, so crafting, eating, catching up, exploring the bush and river. That sounds really lovely. It really does. Oh, I'll come back. Not sure what I'm doing, helping a friend with a speech for Work Safe Week or Safe Work Week. That sounds cool. Nettie says, have you tried the new circular Chow-goo yet? The new cables, yes, there's a review. I put it up on the channel last week. You can check that out. I would highly appreciate anybody checking out that video. I'm just trying to reboot, my YouTube algorithm stuff here. It's been a long time since I've put in a pre-record, and that's a pre-record. So yes, I did, Nettie. You can go and check out the review. Linda, it's possibly what it is because I have been working on it for so long. The blanket smells like me and he wants to be close to you. At least that's how it works with cats. I think, yeah, John says it smells like mum. He loves it. Yeah, he does sleep on me at night. So maybe that's what it is. Lisby needs to find a crochet pattern for a wedding horseshoe. Do people still crochet those? I would throw a comment over in the Fiberific Fun Zone. Someone might have one. So a pattern there. So I would pop that in there and see if someone's got one. I'm going to try and finish off this cardigan as far as its yarn will let me. I had to order a different contrast yarn for the ribbing and the banding. Oh, that's frustrating. Stephanie says, love my Chow-goo needles, and I am working on a Stephen West shawl. I love my Chow-goo needles too. I love the stainless steel with the red cables. That's my favorite blend. Or if I'm going fixed circulars, they have to be the knit lace. I don't like the knit reds. I don't like the little elbow bends or the less pointy tip. Knitspin Girl says that she'll be prepping things for her Spinners Group's 50th birthday party next week. Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds so awesome. Oh, Gamer Widows, the Marvel bag is finished. Let's hope somebody buys it. So Gamer Widows, when she comes to the retreat next weekend, is actually bringing some of her amazing stock. So you can bring spending dollars and purchase things. Purchase the things. No, we're not. We've stopped talking about food for now. Although I'm getting hungry and I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch yet. Probably something with some pepper on it. So I can play with my new toy if I've got batteries. I mean, that's the next trick, isn't it? Do I have batteries? Because I wasn't expecting. I thought I was just buying a standard pepper mill. I didn't pay electric pepper mill prices. Oh my gosh. Is there electric pepper mill market? Stock exchange. Freaky might be back in the stream a little. Might need to refresh. Let me just close some things here. There we go. Yeah. Just checking to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Nettie says, I'll look for your video. I was at my daughter's wedding in Perth last week. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So I posted, I think Friday of last week, I think. but yeah, it's just if you just go back to the main channel, it's I don't, is it in a playlist? It's in the Talking Chow playlist. But if you just click the videos tab, so you're at the home page or dashboard, you hit the videos tab, which is the second tab. It'll be probably the second top because this one will be the top one. Freaky says your luck. Your luck. You only had one box to open when I order from Amazon. I had to open one box to get to. I mean, that's true. At least I've only got one box to open. I just think it's pretty. It's a bit. Is it safe? Like if I would never send oh, sorry, I'll just make sure my address is hidden. I would never send a parcel with just a shipping label attached to the box like that. What if I wanted to keep the box? You know? What? Not that I do. Not that I'll keep the box. If it was a camera or a microphone or something, yeah, I keep all those boxes. But I don't keep boxes for random kitchen appliances. I do until I make sure they work, and then I get rid of the box. Bag photo posted in the fun zone. Game Widows has posted a photo in the fun zone, so that is awesome. That's good. Okay, lords and ladies of the internet, I'm going to bail. It is time to go. I know we're a couple of minutes early, but I'm going to go anyway. Keep an eye out. I'll make announcements for next week's live stream. I'm going to try and do one, but if I get stuck for time, then it's going to have to, yeah, it's one of those things. So it is, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I will catch you all next time. I'm going to say next time because it may not be next week. And I hope you all have an awesome, awesome week. And I will see a pile of you next Friday for retreat. Have a fantastic week. Bye now.